Hi everybody, it's Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers. I am hot on the heels of the last video I did about punches, lining up some of those border style punches. This week I'm going to give you a couple tips on lining up just like the regular punch. So stay tuned and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back for some more punch video. This week I'm going to just show you guys a little bit with the regular punches, just a couple tips and tricks. I'm going to start with the pine tree. Now you may have also noticed that I sometimes show my punches and I've got writing inside. What I've started to do for myself is to write the name of the punch and the item number inside. A lot of times my friends will use them and say, oh, what punch is this? Is this still available? So this way, if we look in the catalog or we don't have a catalog handy, we know exactly what we're looking for. Or if you need to Google it to find out when it was, what catalog it was in, kind of thing, at least you know the name and the number and you can use that to Google with. So what I want to show you is how one of my biggest things I notice is a lot of paper gets wasted if you just put the paper in there and punch. Even if you line it up to the edge and you're a lay it down kind of puncher, you're going to put the paper in and punch down, and then you want to do another one, so you're going to come over to here because you're going to see that you don't want to miss out or over punch. So what I like to do is turn my punch upside down. I can then see that I can squeeze one in here, and I can squeeze one in here, and I could push it way up there and fit another one in there, and you can get them much closer by eyeballing where you're going to put it. And so that for me is a huge paper saver because I can see where I'm putting it. Now, one thing to be aware of, the closer you get to the edge of your paper, I don't know if I'll be able to do it with this one, the punch sometimes likes to kind of get stuck, or it doesn't give you, it pulls more when you get closer to the edge because there's not as much for it to grab onto. So just keep that in mind if you get too close to the edge. But you see how many trees I got out of there by turning it upside down? If I'd have kept going with these two trees, I probably would have maybe only gotten one more over here and maybe one more over here, and then I'd have all that wasted paper. So I can start down here, and granted, not having it, I'm not sure, but I maybe could have got another one out had I measured down further with my paper. So that's just a paper saving tip on that. And then, you know, you get all your fun little trees to punch out and use. So that's my first little tip. My second tip, I'm going to pull in the deer punch. And we all know that some of these builder punches are just awful with the amount of items that are going to punch out of there. So you just might not want all of that. You might just want the antlers. So what you can do is then just line up your paper in just to get the antlers. And granted, you're going to get some waste from the other areas that it punched, but you have more control over the fact that you just want the antlers. So you just want a little nose. So just get a little piece of paper and stick it in there, and you just got Rudolph's noses off. So it's nice that they're putting all of this on the paper, but if you just want that deer, you can then come in and line it up again, and keep in mind that, you know, you might have to put more thought into it than you want, and you don't care if you waste paper, but line the deer up in the space But don't worry that the rest of the bits might be over what you've already punched. I'm not getting a good line up there to show you that, but we can go with this one. So you see that I'm going to punch this deer, and the antler here isn't going to come out because it's over the space that I already punched. But that's fine. I only want the deer. I don't want the antlers. Okay? So another remedy for that idea, if you want to be more precise with your punching, is I'm going to pull in this flowers and leaves punch. And again, let me get my little trimmer and I got one right here. If you only want this big flower up here, you can trim your paper longer and hold on to it so that it sticks out, but you're only cut it enough that you're going to get whatever flower it is you want. So even the one down here on the bottom, you see how much paper I'm wasting because I don't need all that. So you can trim your paper down. So I'm going to go with, let me try this. So let me cut this down real quick and show you. So we only needed I'm going to go 1.5 inches because it might even be too much, but you just got random scraps, right? But how are you going to put this in there? This is going to work if you just want that leaf, but we want to go all the way in and get that flower. Well, you can jiggle it around and wiggle it around, hold on to it with your fingers, punch it. But if you have a Post-it note, go ahead and trim down the sticky. You just want the sticky. And you're going to make a little handle. So stick your paper down onto both sides, and now you have a little handle that you can line your punch up in there, or your paper in your punch. And granted, we would not even need our paper this wide. We could be more precise of cutting it down so that we're not wasting too much. And so then you're just going to stick it in there with your little handle. Punch. We pretty much just got the one flower that we wanted. We can release this piece of paper and do another one. So those are just a few little tips I wanted to give you guys today to help ease your paper waste, I guess, and to be more efficient with just getting the pieces and parts, especially on these builder punches where they give you so much in one punch that you don't need to get all of that. Take care. I'll see you next week.